Okay, so we have minutes from February 14th. Any comments on the minutes?
Move that we accept the minutes.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All right. Let's see. So we need to take a roll call vote.
Is anybody else? I'm sorry to interrupt. Is anybody else hearing that feedback? I'm not.
All in favor, raise a hand.
I'm getting feedback.
There we go.
I'm trying to figure out where. If you aren't speaking, would you mind putting your microphone on mute, and then that will eliminate the feedback that is happening. And then when you're of course ready to speak, you can unmute your mic.
You push mute, then hold your space bar down when you want to talk.
Okay, so we'll take a roll call then. Rainier, yay or nay?
David, I wonder, was Mike Lawson notified of this meeting?
He's right here.
He's here.
Oh, he is. Good. Hi, Mike.
Yeah, so actually that is a question. I haven't done one of these roll call things on Zoom before. Mike, is this the correct procedure? Go through the list of people and I see on the
You
screen.
didn't ask us to show a hand.
Hey, if you can find the
Well, why do we need a roll call on the minutes? Why don't we just say all in favor
It was in the instructions.
for Zoom?
Yes.
All votes at Zoom meetings have to be by.
We can raise our, oh, you can't see me, but I can say, okay.
We can see him.
Oh, I can't see you. I'm looking at, yeah, I do. I see Bill, but I don't see any, yeah, okay.
So I was proposing to go through the people in the order I see them on the screen. And I've got Rainier on the first slot.
We do move around on people's screens.
Yeah, which is why I'm going to have to say who, because otherwise you won't know who's next.
David, why don't you start going around the room and say Ren, he'll say yes. Me, I'll say yes. Walt will say yes.
Exactly. So I'm starting right now. Rainier, yes or no?
Yes.
Okay. Walter, yes or no?
Yes.
Bill,
Yes.
Nancy,
Yes.
Jonathan.
Yes.
Okay, and I also yes. So that is a unanimous. All right. So now election of chair and vice chair. I put both on the list because I think most committees do this every year, and we haven't done ours since early 2019. And also, I think we did have a desire to switch vice chair. Walter, you were the previous vice chair, and you'd like to pass it along. Is that correct?
I'm happy to pass it along.
Yeah. Now I'm just gonna say I would be happy to continue as chair. I would be happy to pass it along either way. Just as long as the committee gets its work done. But so I guess we open the floor for nominations for chair and vice chair.
Well, I think, David, I think you should stay as chair because
Why, I want to mention something, if I may, before we do that.
Please
Can you hear me?
Go
Yeah.
ahead, Nancy. Yeah.
Okay. That is, I am no longer a member because my last appointment ended on May 31st, 2020, and I think that is the case for a bunch of people.
Has everybody's appointment ended?
David,
Oh yes, Mike. Go ahead. Sorry.
the select board with,
Oh, I can't hear him.
can you hear me now, Nancy? The select board extended the terms of all committee members until after town meeting.
David, I can't hear Mike at all.
Okay, I did hear him. Mike said that the terms of all committee members have been extended until after town meeting. The select board has voted on that.
Yeah, okay. All right, good.
So everyone who is a member at our last meeting is still a member.
Well,
Okay.
I agree with Jay. I would move that David remain chairman of the committee.
Okay.
Yeah.
And now for vice chair, I think yes, Mike.
You have to vote on that.
On the chair, you mean? Yes. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I was going to take them as a group, but let's do them one at a time. Good, one at a time for chair. I have only one nomination, so I guess it's a yes or no vote. Rainier.
Why don't you go through the list of people
Yeah.
like you did before?
What are you doing?
I am doing so. So I'm starting with Rainier because he's on my upper left corner of my screen.
Yeah, well, I say yes. And there's my hand voted.
Thank you, Rainier. Walter,
Yes.
Bill,
Yes.
Nancy,
Yes,
Jonathan.
Yes.
Okay, that is a vote. And now I guess now we can take the nominations for the vice chair.
I would nominate Nancy. I think she's done a great job and she should remain as vice chair.
Yeah.
Oh, Nancy is clerk.
He's not vice chair.
I agree. She should remain. She should continue to do what she's doing. She does an excellent job of it.
Bill, would you accept vice chair? Bill?
Me?
Yeah, would you accept vice chair?
I would, but if Nancy would prefer it, I'm okay with that too.
She's the second.
no, I'm fine as clerk.
So I move Bill Kameza as vice chair.
Okay. Take a second.
Seconded.
Okay, then we can vote. Unless there's a further discussion. All right, we'll proceed. Rainier, your vote.
Yay, aye.
Walter,
Aye.
Bill,
Sure.
Nancy,
Yes, definitely.
Jonathan,
Yes.
and I also vote yes. Okay, so we have concluded that business. Okay, so the next order of business is because during the last chair's breakfast, the moderator has asked us to try to minimize the amount of business at the town meeting. She wants to conclude it all in one day. So all committees have been asked to meet and decide whether which if any of their articles need to be moved at the regular town meeting this year. There will be a special town meeting. It's some later in the fall, but regular town meeting already is probably going to be in September, so the other one will be later. And we only have one article.
And if we don't, if we don't pass it, we will be our tax fairness will be expiring. Our exemption will be expiring.
Yes, that's correct. We have to pass this article at this year's at a town meeting, get it through the legislature, and then come back to next year's town meeting and pass it again. And I am concerned that the way things are right now, our timing's already quite tight. I mean, to deliver this to the legislature as a town vote in September is already a lot less time than we expected to allow them to pass it before the next town meeting. So I personally, I'm not in favor of postponing. Also, I don't think this is going to be a contentious article.
In description of that, I would say that I tend to be against the consent calendar. I would, A, we need to be there, and B, I think expecting no contention on it, we would suggest that it be put on the consent calendar. If that can be doable within the, do we require any multiple or large fractional meeting or anything like that?
Mike, thank you, Rainer. Mike, I think it's something on that.
Yes, just that the moderator and I have spoken. Do you have a minute just for me to explain how this is going to unfold?
Yes, thank you, Mike. That would be very helpful.
So what's happening is, as David said at the chair's breakfast, I ask all committees to let us know about articles they might have could come before town meeting. The moderator has spoken with all of the people who have citizen petitions. I've asked the planning board to review all of their articles, and on Monday, the select board will be reviewing all of the articles that they have put on the warrant. Once that's done, I will be preparing a document that will include Carmen's draft proposal for what will be on the consent calendar, and then the response to all of these queries about what is essential and what isn't. When that's completed, the clerk, Linda, and I will meet with the chair and vice chair of the finance committee, along with the town moderator, and we will review all of these and make a preliminary draft warrant of what would be postponed until a special town meeting, what would be on the consent calendar, and what we would deal with at this postponed meeting, which, as David said, is now scheduled for September. Once we've got that done, then the full finance committee and the select board will meet. And we will put together the more formal version of what I just said. And when we get to town meeting, then there will be a motion to permanently postpone a set of articles. And then there will be an extended consent calendar. And then we will deal with the remainder of those articles that were viewed by the select board and finance committee as essential. So the one hiccup in that we just learned a couple of days ago is that with zoning articles, if they are not moved or postponed at a town meeting, that is equivalent to a no vote on them. The importance of that is that if there is a no vote on any zoning article, it can't be brought back to town meeting for 2 years. So we're exploring what is called a retraction to essentially allow the planning board to retract those zoning articles that they don't view as essential. And that's being reviewed by council. And if that's permissible, then they would be allowed to be on the warrant for the special town meeting later in the fall. And Carmen and I have discussed your warrant article, and I think we're in complete agreement. I'm sure the select board will agree as well that your article should be taken up at town meeting and that it would be placed on the consent calendar. As you know, things can be taken off the consent calendar, but we're trying to figure out now, again with council, what number of people it will take to bring something off the consent calendar. We don't exactly know yet. So I'm totally in favor. We've got to get this passed as soon as we can so we can get to the legislature and hopefully get enacted. So sorry to take so much of your time.
No, Mike, that was incredibly helpful. So it sounds as if the stars are in alignment to do what we need to be done, thanks to your good work as a moderator.
Yeah, I think, so I think I think a motion will be in order to accept the plan that Mike has laid forth.
I would move that.
Okay, so moved. Do I have a second? I have a second from Bill. Okay, so in order on my screen, we'll start with Rainier. Your vote? Is that a yes?
That's a yes.
I'll take, that's a yes. Okay. Walter,
Yes.
Bill. I take that as a yes, although we can't hear you. Nancy,
Yes.
Jonathan.
Yes.
Okay, Bill, that was we didn't hear you before. That was a yes.
Yes.
Okay, and I vote yes. So that is a vote. Okay, so we have some leftover business from the additional leftover business from the meeting that was canceled in March. Yes.
I put in sort of a point of order here. I don't know what you think.
Yes.
So many of us have our audio on all the time that the number of echoes makes it almost impossible for old guys like me to understand what's being said. So if each of us can mute with the little thing in the lower left corner, can mute our microphones when we're not talking, and then you unmute just by pushing the space bar on your computer, because now we've got about 5 echoes all piling up on each.
Sorry, that is good advice.
Now, the only one I don't see muted is Jay Kai's.
Okay, just remember to unmute when you do want to speak.
I'm sorry, what do you want? What did you want me to say?
Over on the lower left corner of your screen, there should be a little red microphone. If you put your cursor down there, down the bottom of your screen, a little red microphone. You click on that, and that will mute your microphone, except when you push the space bar on your computer. And that will remove the echoes.
I don't see such a thing.
It will only show up if you put your cursor down there in the lower left on the big black screen, but on the lower left, it doesn't appear. Then you got a cursor somewhere near it.
Now I don't see anybody.
Okay, well, all I can suggest is that you just roam around the lower corners of your screen with your cursor and see if something pops up there.
Well, now I see everybody. But I still don't know what it is you wanted me to do.
Okay,
Put your cursor.
everybody, and now go to the lower left of the big black screen, and maybe a bunch of little things show up, including.
Yeah, I've got the Zoom on an iPad, so.
Well, that makes it harder. Okay, with an open microphone, and we're in pretty good shape. Mike Lawson's microphone is also open.
Okay, I think we should proceed as we are. Just everyone who can mute will mute when they're not speaking. Okay, so we so as I said, the next item up was the publicity for the article. Did anyone have any comments on that?
Well, I think if we are going to be we are going to be on the consent calendar, we ought to do some publicity to let people know just what voting for it will mean.
Okay, are we considering something like a guest editorial in the Concord Journal, among other things?
Right. And something with the in the bulletin for the Concord Council on Aging.
That's
You
Excellent.
and I did that, Nancy, but I'm happy to do that again with
Yep. Okay.
Bill, go ahead.
Yeah, Walter, didn't you write something for the journal last time on this?
Yep.
Yes.
Would you do it again?
I thought Jay and Nancy were going to do it, but I'll do it now. Jay, what did you propose writing?
I'm sorry, I can't understand what you said.
What are you proposing to write?
Something with the Council on Aging, right?
Yes,
Okay, so
as we
then
did before.
all right, then I'll do something for the journal.
Okay. Oh, yes, Mike, go ahead.
A couple of things. When we have our town meeting, it's going to be at 9 o'clock in the morning. It's going to be on the Doug White Fields at the high school. And there is likely that there will be a big handout that will be given to everybody as they come in, which will have information about all of the warrant article, but there will not be a presentation made on each warrant article by the presenter at town meeting. One second, there will be presentations that committees will be able to make that will be posted on the town's website and available, but we don't have the details of that worked out. And while I agree with you that you should be publicizing your article, if you could please hold off doing that until the Finance Committee and the Select Board has made a determination of which articles will be postponed, which will be moved, and which will be on the consent calendar, because that's still probably 2 weeks away at least.
Okay, so I think we have Walter was preparing to do the Concord Journal. Jay and Nancy were preparing to do the Council on Aging. Mike, would it be possible to inform them directly of the decision of the Finance Committee and Select Board when that's ready, and then they'll know whether they can proceed or not?
Sure. But again, I think the timing of what you do is important. I would suggest that town meeting is still 2.5 months away. And I think you want to get your material in the hands of the voters closer to town meeting. If you do it in the middle of July, I mean, people are going to forget you sent them that. So I'll make sure I get a hold of everybody and let them know when the select board has done that. But I would still suggest you might want to wait until the late part of August, a couple of weeks before town meeting, to have it fresh in everybody's mind.
Okay, that sounds wise. Walter, that sounds good to you for the Concord Journal, I guess.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and I don't know how often the Council on Aging comes out with their newsletter, but is it every month?
Every month.
So then the August issue, I guess, would be the one.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I just wanted to avoid our having to have another meeting just to arrange the timing of this. So I think we know what we need to do, if we need to do it, when we need to do it. So I think that business is all settled, and we'll trust that everything will happen or not happen as needed. And of course, yes, we will. I think there's no question we will need to print the entire text of our motion, which I believe must include the entire text of the home rules that we want the legislature to pass. So that will have to be in the handout. Do we need to take any further action on that, or is that?
My only concern is that when we went before the town meeting 3 years ago, we basically had the agreement we were going to come back in 3 years, and it was only basically, was it Framingham, the other town that got somebody to made it so that they were in existence, forever. They didn't have to worry about it. But I don't think we're in that position. And I think we're going to want to ask the general court when they give the approval, when the selectmen request that they, do it, that they do it on a permanent basis, not for another 3 years. And I don't think we've taken that into account.
Jay,
Sorry, Walter, go ahead.
our new article is in perpetuity. It's not for 3 years.
Say again, Walter?
Our article that we're proposing is for perpetuity. It's not for 3 years.
Well, that's what. But right now, we're still under 3 years, right?
Correct.
The general
Yes,
court has not given us the same
Yeah.
benefit that they gave to that other town, Sudbury, I guess.
Well, Sudbury also had to go back and ask for a second home rule in order to get the perpetual thing. That's, in fact, I believe the course that we are taking
They
is
went in for
exactly.
a renewal, and some guy came out of the blue and said, let's just make it permanent.
Okay, well, we are asking them to do the same for us.
Like, exactly, but I think we still have to ask them to do it.
Oh yes, that's what this is all about.
Okay.
And that's why the sunset clause is deleted from the article we're giving to them this time around. Okay. So I think there's probably no more discussion. Does anyone have any thoughts on the vacant position?
Thoughts on what? I couldn't make your words out.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I think we can move along to filling the vacant position. And I do recall the last time we discussed it, Nancy had some thoughts. I don't know if anyone else would like to add to that.
I don't remember what my thoughts were. What are you thinking? What did I say?
Oh, I think we might want to address the gender balance on this committee.
Oh, sure.
But I don't know if anyone has, in the meantime, thought of any good candidates.
As one of the older members of the committee, I don't really think that I'm a good source of suggestions. So I think we should be trying to focus on younger members.
Oh, that also is a good idea. We do have some of an age imbalance with respect to the rest of the town. So, Walter, I'm sorry, Bill. Go ahead, Bill.
Nancy, I want to suggest a name, and I just off the top, and I don't know if this is good or not. Nancy and I are both acquainted with a couple named the Pacellis. Sarah Pacelli works for healthcare for the homeless in Boston. That's her main work. Does public relations, etc. So she's very much aware of those kind of social issues. They live up on Monument Street. Mark is an engineer, electrical engineer, very close to the Carlisle border. I know Mark has expressed interest in getting involved in further in town. I don't know whether Sarah is or not. I'm curious, Nancy, if you have any reaction to that, any thoughts about it?
Well, yes, sure. If you think that, you think, why don't we talk to them and see if they're interested? I'd be happy to do that.
It sounds
Right.
like a good idea.
Yeah, so we would be looking to fill one position, which is
Right.
So, but yeah, it could be either.
Well, yes, or whether
one.
either of them, whether either of them would be interested.
They had kids who have gone through the Concord school system. Their kids are now entering in college or in college, so that gives you some sense about them.
Okay, yeah, I think that I think that probably is more recent experience with the Concord school system than anyone in the room now. So so that will be that will be a good perspective to have. Okay, so I will. So actually, Bill and Nancy, do you want to make that outreach?
Yeah.
Sure. Nancy,
Okay, thank you. And we can.
We'll just explore it with them.
Yeah.
Just see what they're thinking.
Okay, well, let me know offline how that if they're interested, and we'll take it up again if they are.
Okay.
Okay, and the last item, I think that's probably enough work on the vacant position. We'll look into that. And the last item, to consider the future of the committee. I mean, we have this. And we do have this article. We are not going to be done certainly until actually I just to jump back one step, discussing filling the vacant position. Is there anyone whose second term is about to expire on this committee? Could you raise your hand?
I just don't know.
No, I know when I turned in, everything attention. So
Yeah, so I don't know. Actually, here's a question for Mike. Do we need to be concerned about term limits?
Sure. I mean, remember, there's no real term limit. It's just a Concord tradition that you serve for 2 3-year terms, and then you go on to some other part of service. I don't know without looking, but I will find out whose terms. I know Nancy, your term comes to an end, but I don't know who else. And so I'll have to review that, and I'll write to you later today, David, with that information.
Okay, so this sorry, Walter, go ahead. I'm Bill. I'm sorry, Bill.
That's all right. Mike, my term comes to an end, but I think I filled a term for somebody. I came in the middle of a term, so it's my first term.
Yeah, I think we will be able to renominate you for another term with the select board without any problem. Since it is your, I think actually we could probably get 2 more terms out of you if we needed it. Because of the because of the way these things work. I know this happened to me in my last committee. I ended up with 2 terms and a piece of somebody else's. But at least for right now, I think we're not. I'm not too worried about you. We'll be able to get you renewed. Okay. This does tie into the next item though, which is the future of the committee. I mean, I believe we need to shepherd this this home rule through at least the next town meeting, which would be, which would, Bill, for example, we would want you to renew, so you'd still be on board for that. And the question is, what do we do beyond that? If that's the end of the committee, then, I mean, we'd only be, any renewals we'd be looking for would only be for 1 year. So I don't know if anyone, whether we have vaguely talked about continuing our work beyond this year, but or beyond the next town meeting. But I don't know if we've had any concrete proposals to exactly what we would do about that. And so if anyone would want to chime in right now, that'd be great.
Well, I think to some degree it's going to depend on how things go. If everything goes smoothly, we get it before the legislature does its thing, and then it's in perpetuity. Then the question will come to the committee whether we want to dig into something a whole lot harder and work on getting a constitutional amendment so that we can go back to Lola. But that may not be something we want to do. But the logical thing is to get the thing through the legislature, get this in perpetuity, and then we could decide if there's a reason for this committee to exist.
Okay, I think
that's a good
yes.
way of thinking, Walter.
Yeah, I agree with that too. I agree with Walter's point. I think just postpone this discussion about that until we get this stuff through.
Okay, I think that's a great idea and all around. Let's just take this off of we'll take this off of the agenda until, I think what we should probably do is assuming everything, assuming we do proceed as we expect to with this home rule petition, perhaps we should plan for a meeting immediately after the 2021 town meeting to discuss our future. And that would be a good time to take that up.
That sounds like a good idea.
Okay, so let's keep that in mind, but we will not discuss it further until then. Okay, so I believe we've covered all our business. Have I missed anything? Does anyone have any further comments? Okay, well, I'm not seeing anything else. Do I have a motion to adjourn? Yeah, I think okay, I see a motion to adjourn. I see a second, I believe, from.
Yes, I'm second.
Okay, so
We don't have to take a
we have to do roll
roll
call again for this, right?
No.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay. Sorry, Mike. Does this require a roll call also? I don't remember from the.
Yeah.
It does.
I don't think so. Yeah.
Mike says yes.
Mike's is nodding. I think it does. Okay, Rainier.
Aye.
Walter.
Aye.
Bill.
Aye.
Nancy.
Aye.
Jonathan.
Aye.
And I vote aye. Okay, we have a motion to adjourn it. It has passed. Mike, is that a wave goodbye?
Bye.
Okay, excellent. Thank you all.
Why, David, do we want to set our next meeting or some idea about when we'd meet again?
Yeah, do we want to meet before the town meeting?
No.
I think we should probably have one. No.
I think we should. You said you suggested a meeting after the town meeting.
Well, that's after the 2001 town meeting. We will need meetings before then. I would think that we might want to just have a brief meeting just before the September meeting, just to make sure that.
What is the date of the September
I think so.
of the town meeting?
Well, we don't know yet because Carmen, the moderator, cannot set the date that far in advance. She has to do it via multiple postponements. So the date is currently, is it ended to late July right now, I think. Yeah, so we will not know the exact. But she does have a date in mind though.
September 12th.
Okay, so that's the probable date of town meeting. It's not official, but that is the plan. I think we should just sneak in a quick meeting a couple weeks in advance of that, just in case any of the businesses come up.
Pick a date.
How about August 28th?
Well, that's good for me.
Me too.
Okay, all around. Any problems with August 28th? Wave your hand if there's a problem. Okay, I think we will schedule one for August 28th. And I'm hoping we don't really have any new business then, so it should be brief.
I see I see Jeremy's name. Is Jeremy with us? I see his name under the pictures.
Yep, I'm here.
Oh, okay. Can you make that our next meeting date?
Yes, if you just want to, Chair just wants to follow up with an email probably as we get closer to the date. But that right now, just looking at my calendar, it's wide open. So.
Mm-hmm. So we should let you know later. What did you say? I'm sorry.
If you want to send me an email with like a time and a date and time, that'd be perfect. I can set you up as we get closer.
Okay.
Yes, and we must not forget to send the agenda as well when we're closer to the meeting.
Right.
Okay. Okay, good. Well, I think we are out of the meeting already, so I think that concludes our business. So
Bye, everybody.
goodbye.